We're all about the Archers. I'm Philippa.
And I'm Katie.
And we're here to talk to you all about what's happened so far this week. We will be focusing particularly on the episodes of Sunday the 11th of May. Is it May? Yes, it is May. Monday the 12th. And tonight, Tuesday the 13th of May. The months are going fast. There will be spoilers. Katie, what do you think about the week so far? What do you think about tonight?
Everyone's a bit lost. I feel like we all just need a big group hug in Ambridge. Shall we head there now? I think everyone just needs it.
Yes, the men of Ambridge are feeling it at the moment.
Yeah, they've been really affected by, I mean, you would be, but kind of wasn't really expecting them to necessarily be as affected as they have been by the abattoir and Rochelle. And yeah, everyone seems to have been very affected by that. But also Peggy, sad times. I may have cried last week.
At what point did you cry? Just when it was the announcement when Lillian took the phone call, or?
I cry a lot. My dad says my bladder's too close to my eyes, so I cried when Lillian said it. But then also when they had the recording on Friday of Peggy's voice, I thought that was beautifully done. I thought that was so lovely, because obviously we've not had Peggy around for quite a long time, so it was really nice to hear her voice.
Yes, I agree. Hearing her voice and the very poignant reading that she gave, I found that very moving. So, yes. Oh. But I'm sorry, can I crow just very briefly?
Go on.
I predicted it was going to happen. I'm so proud of myself. I actually got a prediction right.
What happens, though, if we get a prediction right? Do we have to just stop? As we've actually reached the goal.
No, because it's one in a sea of hundreds of terrible predictions that, well, you all get predictions right. It's only me that doesn't. But yes, I'm sorry I got it right, but I really did. I know. It
was a very good way to do it, though. It was good foresight, I think. Yeah, it was a nice way to do it, and a very fitting tribute.
So we had Henry talking about going to this escape room today to get the family on track. I didn't know if the escape room involved looking for Peggy's will and they couldn't leave the room until they found it.
Yes, exactly. Can you imagine Helen in an escape room as well? That would be interesting. Maybe you should go in an escape room with Helen. You might battle it out, or go to a rage room. That would work.
No, the insurance, they wouldn't have enough insurance cover for that. Why has Helen given Henry a box he can lock? Why does he need a box he can lock? Why would Helen give him that?
I don't know. It's a bit... why would Helen do anything? It's a bit odd. Because you kind of know for a young boy it's just going to be used for a certain thing anyway. Sorry.
I thought he'd put his painting from daubing the church door.
That's what I meant. Yes,
Thank you. And his goat facts and things.
Yes, definitely. But also, who calls their great aunt? Oh, hello, great aunt Lillian. Yeah. Sorry?
I think that's just to remind us of the connection, because people might be like, oh, who is Lillian to Henry? So that's just a helpful reminder. He sounds like he wants to join the cricket team.
Yes. Is there an age on a cricket team? I don't know. I don't know if there's rules to that kind of thing.
I get a flashback of when Rob was trying to teach Henry cricket and throwing the ball at him again, how awful it was. So I'm surprised Henry's interested, but fair enough.
Yeah, no, he's still good old Henry. Do like him. He's good fun.
So I'd like you to give me your views on this. My headline I've written in capitals is David needs help, and then I put spiralling. What would you say? What are your thoughts about David?
Just a little bit. Whoa! Where did that come from? One of my predictions is that Brookfield's just going to change completely. They're not going to do cattle anymore or anything like that. They're just going to change and become a vegan farm. I don't know. He's proper panicking, bless him. I mean, I get it. If you've been shook up by that and you kind of realise that people's opinions are changing on the whole providing and the fact that they're not seen as the heroes providing the nation. It's suddenly seen as a bad thing. It must be a bit of a scary thought if you've seen yourself as a provider for all these years and then suddenly people aren't agreeing with that and don't like that anymore. It must be a strange thing to think about.
But does he want people sort of fully armed and securing the area with earpieces in? And yes, he wants security.
They'll have to keep building the moat. There'll be moats around every farm in Ambridge.
Or they just call in the A-team to help.
Absolutely. I know.
Hey, archers. Yeah, that would be a great collab. I'd love that. Don't push me, fool. Yes. Sorry, that was terrible.
Love it.
Okay, so Open Farm Sunday is all about the children, Rosie with the fossils and Henry with his goats, and David not sure it should happen. As you say, I think it is all stemming from him really being affected by what happened in the abattoir. And I mean, he didn't do anything or say anything at the time, but never mind. It's catching up with him now. Rex. What do you think about Rex being the weird, lonely boatman?
I know, bless him. I mean, I was kind of wondering, I have written a note, where's Toby? Because we've totally lost Toby in all of this for years, I feel like. But that's just a bit on the side. Just realised I missed Toby all of a sudden. I like him being the lonely boatman because he does the taxi stuff. I would have thought they'd use the taxi more for gossip and finding out things about storylines, because it's kind of a place where you can overhear a phone call or people talk to you after a night out or whatever. They've never really used the taxi much for that kind of thing, which is interesting. But then obviously when he came to pick Joy up and then broke the bail conditions of Rochelle,
that wound me up, because all Rochelle needed to do is say, it's Rex, and go straight into the house, instead of stood there on the pavement going, oh no, I mustn't see him, I can't see him, oh ma'am, what's going on, oh he'll see me, oh no. Just get in the house, girl. And then Joy said straight to Usha about, she's being so careful about the bail conditions. Well, yes and no, because if it was me, I'd have just said, look, this happened, these are the reasons why. It wasn't Rochelle's fault, but I would tell the solicitor that.
Yeah, exactly. The last thing you need is someone else to have seen it or whatever.
Yeah. So do you think Rex should go away or travel the world, as it was suggesting?
No, but I have got it as one of my predictions that he may leave and move in with Rochelle, and then they'll just live with Nick as well, or go and meet Pirate Johnny, because they were talking about boats and sailing and stuff, so that could happen. But no, I think he should stay. I like his little narrow boat.
Happy on that till everything happened at the abattoir, so yes. Oh dear. For one minute,
I thought... a new manager. Oh, sorry.
No. Carry on.
And then there's a new manager at Gables starting next week. Interesting. Who do you think?
Well, I didn't know if it was Kalatma, the cricket person. Oh, is that what you were thinking?
Just because they keep saying the name over and over again, I'm kind of thinking there must be a reason for this. And also, they've got to live in the area, because that was the whole thing about Vince being captain or whatever. They had to live in the area. So surely Kalatma's got to be local, but no one knows who she is.
Oh, yes. Well, she does seem quite professional in the cricket capacity.
Yes. Very strange. I was a bit concerned as well with Tom and Natasha having their lazy breakfast on Sunday. But also there's no space in the house. Don't be getting up to any of that business, because you've got Helen and the boys. You can't have any other people arriving in that house. There is no space.
Yes, that was one of my predictions, that they're going to have more kids. And goodness me, I mean, Natasha and Tom do seem to have a hands-off style to their parenting, and fair enough, why not? But I did like them criticising Helen's gardening, and Lee's playhouse was described as hideous.
Yeah, whoops, that's awkward. Trying to rip that down as well.
I mean, everyone's planning what they're going to be doing with this money when it comes in, which seems to be signposting the fact that they're not going to get any money.
Yep. Hilda's getting it all. Because you can donate it to a pet, can't you? You hear all these people who are millionaires and they leave it all to their precious cat. So Hilda's going to be lapping up the cream.
So suddenly people actually want to have Hilda and get an income from her for her
exactly
bed and lodgings. I do worry what's going to happen, and when are we going to hear this? Because why haven't they got the will yet? What are they assuming?
I don't know how long these things take. Is it normally a fairly quick thing? I don't know how long that takes to find that stuff out.
Usually they contact the solicitor straight away, there's a copy of the will, and you can go through the sort of the formal will reading as you do in dramas, and I'd love that, because I would hope...
I know.
I have got some thoughts, I'm sure you have as well, about who might benefit or not. But I'll save mine for the prediction, because that's the only prediction I've got left.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I would think it's got to be soon. I think it's this week. Okay, I called Peggy's death. I'm going to call it. This week it'll happen, and it'll be big news.
Dum, dum, dum.
I think, but
Exciting.
there we go. There was also Natasha mentioning hobbits quite a bit. The twins, 2 little hobbits and a hobbit home. So I didn't know if they were going to start mentioning the Hobbit, but we could do that for book club.
That can be our new bookish. Yes,
that would be wonderful. Yeah, and they're assuming Helen's going to get the money to use it as a deposit on the house to move.
They're hinting at it. They're like, you will be using that to move out, won't you?
Although she's doing goat visiting and ice cream and occupying the kids. So yes.
Own little world.
What do you think about Joy at the moment? Because she was round at Rochelle's. She's got Lily unhappy with her. What do you think?
Yeah, well, first of all, Lily. I think Lily was bang out of order this week. She's been awful. The whole paying Rex and then not seeing why it's a problem if he doesn't get paid but still plays cricket, and money doesn't matter anyway. Sorry, I think it might help people who really need that. And then the way she slammed out of the shop with Joy and straight into Usha. Woof. Yeah, she's got a bit feisty. I feel sorry for Joy.
I do. I understand why when Joy was just obviously talking to Rochelle, and Lily was impatiently waiting. Joy said, I'll just be longer. And then when Lily sort of confronted her and she said Freddie wasn't doing so well, and Joy said, oh no, what's up? It's not the best way to handle it. Yes, not ideal. I feel sorry for Joy because she's carried 4 bags of shopping round to Rochelle's and gifts for Nick to say thank you. That poor woman. And what she's doing for money. How much do you think Rex is getting for the sponsorship, or was getting before it was stopped and he quit? It's got to be quite a bit.
I can't believe he was... Yeah, but I can't believe he was getting that many jobs on Sundays when they play. I can't imagine he was getting many jobs, but I guess I hadn't really thought about the practice as well. So if they've got practices in the evenings, I guess that's where he's losing the money, isn't it, more? So yeah, I was only thinking about Sundays really. But yeah, it must be a fairly decent amount, especially to get someone like Kalatma as well, who obviously seems, like you said, fairly professional, or she's someone. So there must be a reason for it.
So who is your star of the week?
Star of the week, I've got Peggy, just because I thought it was
a star in the sky.
Cute. I know. I'll cry again, don't.
Oh no, don't cry. Okay, well, this will make you cry. My star of the week is Natasha, because there's nobody else this week that I liked. I love Natasha, so there we go. Twit, who's your twit of the week?
Oh, wonderful Lily. Ugh. It was the way she said, we're allowed to hate Rochelle, but Joy's off limits. Well, yeah, because it was Rochelle that did it. Joy didn't do it. But yes, no, Lily, sorry. Goodbye.
I put Lily Yeah, I put Lily going on about for the love of the game. But even so, I do remember how much flack Emma had with George, and that was all acceptable to have a go at Emma. So I feel like they're being treated, the expectations are different, and it could have gone really dangerously, horribly wrong with what Rochelle was involved with. So I don't know. And I do worry, just about Rochelle and getting Joy to pay a deposit on some accommodation, that Rochelle then will end up in prison and Joy's going to have to fund 6 months, 12-month contract, which is a concern.
Yeah, very true.
Prediction.
I'm worried about Lillian, because she was saying tonight about how she's lost and she's got a black hole at my centre and that she's not needed anymore. I'm worried, because we have always said in the past, kind of, Lillian's got that little bit of, she likes to drink, and who she actually got as her close friends, because she's got Linda, but she did a lot for Peggy, and she's lost all of that now, like she was saying. And is she going to go off the rails a bit, or is she going to be a hoarder? Because I really loved it. One of my faves actually was Lillian keeping Peggy's shopping lists. I thought that was lovely, but I have got visions of her just being surrounded by mountains of lists, and anything that was Peggy's is now a Peggy shrine kind of thing. But yeah, I'm concerned that something's happening with Lillian, and we can't, because Lillian's my fave. Bless her. And then the cafe is going to close, isn't it? Because Fallon's mini pies are just going to be a hit at the cricket tea, and the cafe's going to shut. And maybe if they get money from Peggy's money, they open another business. I don't know.
Well, will you be able to look at a banana again now with your dear Lillian getting upset about that?
No.
It's all gone bananas. My prediction is about the will. I think she's going to be very selective about who will benefit. And I think Peggy decided to change the will and put it in favour of Jenny's children, because Jenny is no longer here, which means, yes, Adam and Debbie, but particularly Kate and Alice. She'll have seen what Alice went through with George. And I do wonder if she's going to give some money to Emma, because we were suddenly hearing Emma talk to Lillian about her relationship with Peggy as well, and that some big charity donations. So I think Tony and his family will not get any, and I can't wait. But there we go.
That's evil.
Now, tomorrow, Wednesday, if you're on our Facebook group or do join, you will get information about the next cast interview we've got coming up, and you can ask questions. So that's very exciting. We've got the Patreon live on the 20th of June. Links in the show notes to sign up. That's going to be live and interactive this time, with everyone on video if they'd like to. So that's exciting. And we'll be back again next week with more of our madness. Until then, it's a goodbye from me.
And it's a row from me.
Goodbye, everyone.